Hello and welcome to another day in paradise, and welcome to another edition of the Unapologetic Negropian. In today's video, this war seems to be throwing surprises my way every single day. There is one thing that I saw on Sky News which really blew my mind out of the water. Early this morning, I woke up to watch this video.
Hello, yeah, we've come to join the Ukrainian army, or whatever they're called.
They're not even sure of the army's name, but they're utterly convinced of the cause. This is Leon from Surrey.
They look like they need help. We're young, strong, fit men, we can help, so why not?
Outside Ukraine's embassy in London, a steady stream of men come to find out how they can join up to fight.
You can send email, a letter for this address,
Yeah.
and he contact with you and said what you must do.
I'd like to take, like, a pocket knife, a stove.
War waits for no one, and by mid-afternoon, conscious they need to move fast, we catch up again with Leon and his friend Tom, who also plans to travel to Ukraine.
Body armour goes in there, which protects your chest.
By now, they've got hold of some old kit borrowed from a friend who's an ex-Marine.
He does want it back, so let's hope we make it back alive so I can give it back to him. As soon as you get off the train in Ukraine, your life is on the line. You're not guaranteed to make it back, especially not in one piece.
Have you told your family?
Our family are upset. Obviously it's a hard time, but if I'm this scared and this apprehensive, and what are the people over there going through?
Neither of these men have any military experience. Tom runs a dog care business.
Are you afraid?
Of course I am. I think I would be silly if I wouldn't be afraid.
Honestly, I couldn't believe my eyes. Here was a black man in the UK planning to travel to the Ukraine to fight for the Ukraine cause. Now, I just couldn't understand why. Now, I could understand why he was going to fight for these people. I mean, he could see that these people were in trouble, that they needed help. And I think that's a very honourable thing to do. It's just, well, why would he pick this conflict? There were many other conflicts going on around the world, especially in Africa. Why didn't he not pick the conflict that is going on in northern Nigeria? Why didn't he go there to help fight against Boko Haram? Why have you not gone to Burkina Faso to fight against the Islamists? Why not go to Mali to fight against the French colonialists? Why? Why would he go and choose the Ukraine out of all places, a country which, guys, if you know by now, is probably one of the most racist countries in the world? No, I didn't really want to say that, but there you go. I just said it. Why choose this country to go and help people who would sooner spit at him if there was in war? Give him the funny eyes on the train if he was on it. Why would you go and fight alongside people who think this way? I'm going to try and tell you some reasons why I feel he's doing it. First, I'm going to ask you to please like, subscribe, share, click the bell notification, and please consider supporting the channel on our Patreon, link in the description. I'd also like to invite you to please follow the OVVERSIGHT channel, the channel that is there to help you to invest on the African continent both safely and securely. Link also in the description. So Leon Dawson from Surrey. So that's a part of England which is close to London. Surrey is a nice place, okay? Quite affluent, yeah? It's a place where you would expect people like Leon to live, you know? Mixed race, tattoos, big muscles. He goes to the gym. Why? You know, he's living a good life anyway, right? So why would this man look to the east and look to go to Ukraine to fight amongst people that would never accept him if they weren't at war? I think that Leon has been influenced heavily by the way the media has communicated what is happening there in the Ukraine to the British people. Now, if you don't know by now, Britain has left the European Union. Not Europe, just the European Union. We all know about the types of people who voted because they didn't want foreigners inside their country. We know what types of people they are. There are plenty of them there in the United Kingdom. So what I think is happening is the media is trying to portray this situation like it is different, to portray this situation as a group of people who need help, a group of people who look like them. This is the most important part. I think a man like Leon, if you see his friends, all of his friends are white British. He probably grew up in a family that had a lot of white friends. He has a lot of people that are around him who are white, who are probably really good people. And he has been perhaps insulated from the outside from the racism that you would normally pick up in the UK. And I think genuinely he wants to help those people in need. I think that's a very noble, very respectful thing to do. But if you watched my video yesterday, you would know that the media is disseminating this information of this conflict in a different way than they would have disseminated information about a conflict that was happening in the brown-skinned countries. I think that if the media would have communicated the story to the masses in the UK the same way that they communicate the other conflicts that happen in Africa and in the Middle East, I think if they communicated it in the same way as they do those, I don't think Leon would be on the way to the Ukraine right now. I think he'd be like, okay, well, good luck with that. I don't think he would care about it. They have packaged the story in a way in which they are trying to look for sympathy from these British people, and they are getting it. Now, I know what you're going to ask. Why would they do this? This is a country that left the European Union. These people are trying to isolate themselves. The British have done so, definitely economically, in the last 5 years. I think that you got to look at the people who own the British media. You got to look at the people who run the Ukraine too. Who are these people? Well, they are the Jewish elite. Those people who put Zelensky into power are also the same people who own the British media. They own all the newspapers. They own Sky News. But even the BBC, which is supposed to be fair, free and impartial, that corporation, even though it has no private funds, it's totally public funded, okay? The BBC itself, the man at the top is also a Jewish man. So you have a large group of people who have investments in the Ukraine, and they've invested by making sure that the Ukraine is friendly to the Jewish cause. Zelensky himself is very pro-Israeli. He has dual nationality, which is really strange, actually, for a sitting president, for him to have Ukrainian nationality and Israeli nationality. And you have people like Rupert Murdoch. You have those who are heading the media over there in the UK, who are conditioning people's minds, conditioning the Western minds too. They are trying to put them in a position where they can conjure up a culture, a narrative, a dialogue of getting NATO involved in what is happening in Ukraine. This Leon is a perfect example of how powerful the media actually is. It's so powerful that it can get a black man to go over to the Ukraine and fight on behalf of a group of people who are literal neo-Nazis. Either Leon is ignorant and he just doesn't know that they are that way, which would be even more ignorant of him, because I don't know, would you go and fight for people without finding out who you're fighting for? Or he's stupid. And if he's stupid, do you really want somebody who is stupid coming from the UK and trying to handle firearms, dangerous weapons with you, within close proximity to you? I know I wouldn't. So guys, this is the main reason why I believe this black man is going over to the Ukraine to go and try and help the Ukraine cause. It's likely that Leon has seen what is happening, he's seen these stories, and he's been influenced by the way the media has communicated it to him. And this is what we need to look out for. Guys, you already saw my video yesterday. I told you how racist the media actually are. The way they are communicating this story is vastly different to the way they've been communicating other conflicts throughout the world which involved brown people. I genuinely believe that Leon Dawson is a noble, brave and humble individual, because clearly this guy has everything going for him in the UK. Why would he go and put his life at risk for people who he doesn't know? I wish him all the luck in his endeavours. I hope that he comes back without a scratch on his body. And I hope that he gets treated well over there by the Ukrainian people. And I hope that those Ukrainian people will also understand that this man didn't need to come over and that he is doing it for their people. Until the next time, please think twice. Torah a bit.